So one day he told me just as a joke, John, mimi siku moja nitakuja kuku, in Kiswahili, I'm going to kukurarua matako, just in quotes. And I was like, what is this guy saying? They got hold of me. Then they began tearing off my clothes. And there they started penetrating me. And I tell you, I can remember vividly like it was yesterday. And it was very painful. And turn by turn, they came, penetrated on me because I had no strength even to protect and to fight back myself.
Hello, welcome to Tuko Talks. My name is Lynn Goge. Now, if you have ever been betrayed by friends, then you understand how forgiveness can be hard to come by. But my guest today believes forgiveness is making peace with pain. So without further ado, please allow me to let him introduce himself. Hello.
Hello, Lynn.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well in the Lord. How are you?
I'm good.
Mine.
Yes, please introduce yourself.
My name is John.
Yes.
I love the Lord as my personal savior.
Yeah.
I'm a student in the University of Nairobi. Yes,
Wow.
that's it.
And before we even start, I love your voice. You
Thank you so much.
Are you an artist?
Maybe not.
What do you mean? Maybe not.
I don't know. Let's see what life makes of us.
Okay.
Maybe I will think of it sometime later.
All right.
Yeah.
And I know life has not been easy for you.
Definitely.
Yes. And I always like starting by commending my guest for being so strong and sharing their story, because I know what you're about to tell us will change a lot of lives.
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah. So talk to us.
And now it was, let me see where to begin. It was 2016, July 17th. It was on a Friday. And I really remember that day vividly. I even remember what was playing on TV, what was playing on radio.
Yeah.
I can remember the atmosphere, and it was not an easy environment for me. We had just come from school, and it was my friend's birthday, John, also my namesake.
Okay.
So we came in the house, and it was his party. But of course, before this, John had been showing some moves that were making me suspicious, but because I was so naive to know like such things exist in quotes, I was not able to really know what could transpire later on in life.
Yes, and
So-
when you say he had been making some moves, what exactly are these moves?
So by then I had this afro hair, and so once in a while he used to come and tell me, John, you've got good hair, John, you've got good lips, John, you've got a good voice. And I was like, what is this guy saying? So one day he told me just as a joke, John, mimi siku moja nitakuja kuku, in Kiswahili, I'm going to kukurarua matako, just in quotes. And I was like, what is this guy saying? Like,
Kusikia mangumi zitembee hapa?
no, I was so naive, and I didn't know what to do of it.
Yeah,
So one day, we came in. It was his birthday, so we came in with the friends at home. Then we began, drinking. But for me, I never used to drink alcohol, just the soda. And so he came in with the friends.
Yeah.
One of them, of which some of them came from the universities of KU and
Yeah.
JQuat,
Okay.
and they were rugby players. So they came in the house.
Yeah.
We, of course, do some party. And around 9, they sent me to go buy some drinks. So I went bought some drinks, then came back. Then, of course, continue with the party.
Yeah,
I
was the
didn't-
party in a house
Yes,
or in the
it was
hostels?
in our house.
Or in...
We didn't live in the hostel.
Yeah.
We lived outside the hostel.
Okay.
Yes. So we began drinking, and so I began feeling dizzy, and just all of a sudden they grabbed me, and I was like, John, nini mnafanya? What are you guys doing?
How many guys are we talking
There were
about?
5 guys, now including John. So 4 + 1, 5.
Yes.
So including John.
Yeah.
So I was like, they got hold of me. Then they began tearing off my clothes, and there they started penetrating me. And I tell you, I can remember vividly like it was yesterday, and it was very painful. And turn by turn, they came, penetrated on me because I had no strength even to
fight
protect
back.
and to fight back myself.
And what are they saying when they are doing this?
So they were raping me, and they were just saying, Leon Johile, this is the day now that I was telling you now. And I was in pain, and my whole body was crying out pain, and I didn't know what to do. And I was screaming, the volume was loud, and I didn't know what to do. You know, even as a man, by that time you're feeling raped, you even wonder where you start from. And I'm so sorry, I didn't mention to you, I'm a sickler. I'm a sickler. Sickler, I'm a sickle cell warrior.
Yes, yeah.
I'm a sickle cell warrior. So here I am down. I'm oozing out blood out of my anus. I am helpless. I don't know where to start. And so my friends, they were so much evil. You know that time that Pharaoh hardens his heart?
Hey.
They were so much evil to the extent that they left me there, bleeding.
All
and this is all by myself. This is around 10. This is around 10 p.m. I bled to an extent where I passed out. So by the time I'm waking up, it's around 4:30. So it so happened that a neighbor was going to work at around 4:30. So he happened to see me, I was lying down. Then he went, opened the gate, chini kabisa, down there. I could hear him open the gate, and he went. He just passed me by.
So maybe he made the assumption that hawa ni wenye wanakunywanga tu
because of the
kusana.
loud music. Yeah. So he goes out. But again, I think God speaks to him. God has a way of speaking to people.
Yes, he
so
does.
God speaks to him. He goes and consults with a piki guy, a boda guy.
Yeah.
So the boda guy comes in, then takes me on the motorbike because Mama Lucy is near.
So he wraps you first.
So he takes me.
Yeah.
So
naked?
Yeah, no. He brings in a small shawl,
okay.
a shuka.
Hey.
So he wraps me up, then tries to pick me. But because of the way I do that, I was so weak, he was not able to pick me up. So he tells me I'm coming, wait a minute. So he goes and gets another guy.
Yes.
So they come and pick me,
Yeah.
put me on the border, one on my back,
Yeah.
and then I'm in the middle, then take me to
Mama Lucy.
Mama Lucy Hospital. So the condition is too worse, they can't handle it. So there I am in an ambulance experience.
For the
first time. There I am, I could hear the sirens all the way to Kenyatta. And all this while, what is in my mind is like, I have failed myself, I have failed my family, I have failed my friends. How did this thing even, I'm still in disbelief that such a thing can happen to me. I'm still in denial.
Yes.
So there I am in Kenyatta. So they take me to Kenyatta. The condition is so worse. So because I needed blood, when you've got low HB, your body cannot really function so well.
Yes.
People tell me that I passed out.
Who tells you passed out?
No, the nurses.
They said you passed out.
I passed out from there. So they checked all the pulse and everything. There was no pulse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the assumption is John is dead. Oh.
So you know, when you die, you know, they put those two tags. They put the tags on your face and also on your feet.
Yeah.
Then there I was.
So, do you mean there you are? You ended up in a mortuary?
I don't know. There I was. I ended up in a mortuary now.
Which mortuary?
City mortuary.
City mortuary.
Yeah, city mortuary.
Okay, if Tuko Talks was to take a break, today would be the day. So, you are so, you know, the doctors have done everything they could.
The doctors have done everything.
The nurses have assumed you're dead.
They have assumed them dead.
And you find yourself in a mortuary. What happens next?
So now my consciousness came in later, and I could hear some noises from the background, and I was like, Kwani, where am I? And I was like, I tried to come out of where I was. There I was on the ground. So by the time I was knowing it, I thought this is not the usual environment because it's very cold, it's dark, it's a strange environment. And so I knew that I was in the mortuary. So there I was. So morning came. Of course, you know what would happen.
Yeah.
When they open those Dianas, they're called Dianas. Mortuary attendants, they come.
And they
find you there, of course. You know what would happen.
Yeah.
They got shocked.
Yeah. And they all ran away.
Not really ran away, but they really got shocked because there are some cases of also people who
have been mistaken.
They're dead before, but no. So so I was rushed back to Kenyatta.
Yeah.
So there I was. So they began. So I explained my story. So there they began the PEP. So I went through the PEP. I went through medication. But by this time, I'm not even able to go for a long call. So you can imagine, you just want to go to the long term. It's all just coming out. So again, because of the rape, because I was also trying to struggle in the process, I was able to hurt my dodo. They hurt my dodo.
Yes.
So so I could not even urinate properly. So they had to put a catheter on me. So you can imagine 2 of my very important parts are damaged. So here I am. I'm not in terms with myself. I'm still in pain. I'm still in self-denial of what happened. And so that was it. So I stayed in the hospital for about 4 months. I was not able to, I had to defer through someone. I had to write a letter to the school. So I had to defer, and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And at this point, when you are, even before you defer, what is the school? Because I'm sure the news reached to the school, to the administration. Yes. What is the school saying about this? And what is your family saying about this
now,
as well?
For my family, I didn't want to hurt anyone. Believe you me, even right now as I'm talking to you, this is the first time my family members are going to hear of this.
What?
This is the first time my family members are going to hear with this.
Wow.
Because I didn't want them to go through that pain. I didn't want them to, that time you're a man. You're supposed to be the one who is this strong person. So I even didn't know how to get it out. So the school heard about it, yes, but I was not able to talk about it. How do you corner a person who doesn't want to talk? But now as time went by, I realized that this thing was really hurting me. After now coming out of the hospital, I realized that I was going through so much pain. I realized that I needed someone to talk to, someone to share with them what I was going through. I realized that if I don't talk, I'm dying soon.
Yes.
Because you realize that we need people that we can talk to. And the people who we can talk to, they are no longer there because the society is full of judgment.
Especially if it's a man.
It's a man.
They are full of judgment. And before we go to how you dealt with this, of course, you deferred classes, but you have to go back to the same institution and see the same people.
And see the same people.
Upon seeing these men for the first time.
I tell you, Lane, it was not easy. That time you look at someone and you just want to get out a knife and stab them. You just want to, I don't even know how I can put it. You just feel like you feel betrayed. So it went on like that. It reached a moment where I felt like I was not able to concentrate in my classes. I was not able to be myself and to be me, to be who I am. So I decided that I want to let go. I decided that I want to forgive. I decided that I want a new start. So
wait a minute, John, because because I know, here we talk facts. I know how hard it is to forgive someone once they do something like this to you, especially someone you had trusted, people you would rave with, people you would have fun with, people you would go and tell your problems. How did you reach that point that I will not even file, I will not even take you guys to court, I'm just going to forgive you? Take me through that.
It reached a moment, the pastor told me, because I was also so shy, and then also because of the judgment that the law enforcers were having on me, and everyone was having on me. So I said, I don't want to follow that route. That time you said, I want to deal with everyone one by one. I want to deal with everyone one by one. So there's this pastor told me that
Whose pastor is this?
It's called Pastor Njoroge.
Okay.
It's called Pastor Njoroge.
Yeah.
He told me, he's one of the pastors that used to preach on the wards and share encouragement to those people in their hospital.
Okay.
So he told me, what you've gone through is very bad. And I will tell you one thing, that the only person who can avenge what you've gone through is not even the government, it's not even the court, it's not even the police officer. He told me that the best avenger is only God. And so it reached a moment where by slowly, the anger got away.
Yes.
And so I got courage, went to them. Now as time went by, I called in my friend, who was called John, of course my namesake. I called John. John also called the other ones. I called too. So I said, I just want to talk with you. So we prayed, because anytime we're not brushing shoulders. So immediately class is over, they walk out. So he was really avoiding us too. to
have-
come in quarter. And
yes.
then at some point when I resumed school, he was not coming to class.
Okay, because he,
He,
knew.
because he knew,
Yeah.
because he knew he was not coming to class at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
you called
so
them.
so I called them because I was feeling that they have so much guilt. Now that is after God now working on me. So I called them. I told them, you know what, this is what you guys did, but I've decided to let go. I've decided to forgive you. You did bad. You made me go through so much pain, but I am letting go. You did what you did, but I'm now beginning a new story.
And you
I've
meant
forgiven,
that
and I meant that
from here.
from my heart.
Wow.
You know, Lynn, forgiveness is making peace with pain,
yes.
because you cannot change what happened, but you can
Change how it's going to influence the rest of your journey.
Yes, because
Uh-huh.
sometimes, you know, we hold on to so much, and this person who is hurting is not them.
Yeah.
It's actually, you are their own prisoner. So sometimes we realize that when you let go,
Yeah.
it's you that actually gets the first healing. So I needed that healing.
So you are not even doing it for them.
I
You
was
are
not
doing
doing
it
I
for
was
you
doing it for myself.
because you needed it.
I was doing it for myself.
I love that. I love
I was
that.
doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So I realized that forgiveness is key.
Yes, and no, John, kidogo tu. Now when you call these guys, of course you're in the room for the first time together after what happened.
Yes.
And you are telling them, mlinikosea, but nimewasamehea. You know, what is their reaction at this point?
Of course, normally people would shy off, people would look down, actually, John broke down and started to cry.
Oh,
But you know, with him, I didn't realize all this while, I forgot to mention to you that he was a gay.
he was gay.
He was gay.
Okay.
He was gay all along.
Yeah.
And so this is what I know. This is what I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
He was gay. And so at this moment, he's full of guilt. And
Wow.
he's very full of guilt.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Do you guys talk now on regular basis, or
No, we
it
didn't
was
talk.
more?
You know, sometimes, Lane, when you forgive,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't mean things have to go, things have to resume the way they are.
I keep telling people that forgiveness does not mean we have to reconnect. It can mean sometimes I've forgiven you, but let's go our
Yes,
separate ways.
I've forgiven you,
Yeah.
but I don't need you in my life.
Yes.
But I've forgiven you.
Yeah.
And I really knew that I've forgiven them with the fact that I can sit with him together, maybe do a project together in class, maybe share something that can be beneficial to us.
Yeah.
And without that anger really coming back, that's the moment you realize that you've really forgiven.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Wow. And so forgiveness
So
sometimes
forgiveness,
is all we
forgiveness,
need.
forgiveness, forgiveness. If forgiveness can't work, number two is forgiveness. And if forgiveness cannot work, number two, number three, forgiveness.
And if it
number
doesn't
three
work?
cannot work, refer to number one.
Forgiveness, forgiveness,
Forgiveness,
forgiveness,
forgiveness.
forgiveness. And wait, because I know after this ordeal, you did not just heal at this has happened to me, but now here I am. What would you say were some of the lowest moments for you during that particular period?
Well, my lowest moment were the times I could remember. It's called post-traumatic syndrome disorder. There are times you just sit down and you just like shake, and you can just see the blood coming out.
You feel the thing.
You can just feel like your body is
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be in a place where maybe you're in class and you just walk out because you feel your whole body is really trembling and you just walk out. Yes.
Okay, and John, I know you are healing right now, and it's a process, as you said. But people like John, your friend who did this to you, you know, I know they still exist out there. People who are out there hurting people, you know, destroying and damaging souls. What message would you like to send them?
Well, the message I would love to send them is they also need help. You know, sometimes I came to realize that someone cannot just wake up and commit rape or sodomize someone. I've been doing a research, and I realized, and especially for John, later on, he came and opened up to me. And he told me that the reason why he became a gay, it's because one time he was also sodomized by somebody. So he came out and he never dealt with that bitterness. He never shared. So he came out, it messed up with his sexuality.
Yeah.
So the message that I would love to tell people is what you're doing is wrong, and that you also need help. And talk about it, speak
Yes.
about it, because I'm not in a position to condemn.
Yes, yes.
I'm not in a position to condemn.
Absolutely.
But what I would love to tell you is
Yeah.
you need help.
I love that
You
part.
need help.
They need help.
You need help. You know, sometimes we are too quick to judge people, but unless you get to the bottom of it, you realize that they are also going through situations.
Yes.
And that they also need help also.
They need
So I'm not in a position to judge them. For John, I love them so much. I want to tell them that I love them. I want to tell them that the only way that you can do is you need help. Yes.
And you've forgiven them.
And I forgive them.
And you love them.
And I love them.
So you are so courageous.
Amen.
Yes. And right now, what are you doing and how is the process for you at the moment?
Right now, I'm encouraging people, especially in high schools, in churches, men and the young men, telling also the society that men can also be raped. Men are not just abusers, but they're just victims.
Yes.
And also, irrespective of how messy your past can be, God can also use a messed up life to bring something out of you. For me, I never knew that I could maybe encourage people. I never knew that I could preach. I never knew that I could be a source of encouragement to people.
Yeah.
But through that circumstances, it brought out what God wanted me to bring out.
Yeah.
There's this scripture that says in James 1:2, it says, consider it all joy when you go through all kinds of trials and tribulation, because after the trial, God wants to bring out something in you.
Yes.
And so I realized that irrespective of how messed up my life was, God has used my messy life to bring out a message to this society,
Yeah.
to bring out a message that irrespective of how you've been through, irrespective of how maybe you've been sodomized, maybe you've been raped, or you're a victim, God can still use you. That the hand of God is not too short
Yes.
to bring you out of that pit of desperation or stigmatization.
Yeah.
He can bring you out and put your feet upon a rock,
Yes.
whereby you can be a source of encouragement to people.
Do you think we as a society have failed the fact that, do you think we are not taking men issues seriously and we are paying too much attention to what affects women and children?
To me, the society has failed, the institutions have failed, because we've centered so much on the girl child and the women, and we've neglected the man. And it's time, just like I said earlier, that it's time we don't just classify rape as women and children. We need to classify rape as victims of rape. So that victims, it includes everyone is included in
Yes.
there. Then we need to have a strong supportive system from the government,
Yeah.
from institution. And, you know, if the boy child is good, I normally say, in my own perspective, I normally say if the boy's child is at rest, the woman will also be at rest. Because you realize that most of the people men, and even women, most of the men who got raped or sodomized, these are the men who are going to later on become fathers, become husbands, and become people in the society.
Uncles,
Uncles. So if they don't talk about it at a tender age, they will talk about it in marriage. And the language in marriage is not going to be a good language. It's going to be a language of violence. It's going to be a language of
Withdrawal. Yes.
with so much. So I think we need to realize that women we need to take care of the boy child and the girl child, because also the same happens to guy child. If they keep quiet about it, they will transfer it to marriage.
Yes.
So we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it in churches. We need to talk about it in high school. That is not just about education alone.
Yes.
It's about, we need to provide a holistic kind of a thing, so that even children in high school, and also this to parents also need also to work with their children. Because if you don't tell your child their sexuality, then the world will tell them their sexuality. So we also need to work with our children, the boy child. We need to work with them every step, so that they're able to know that when somebody touches you here, when somebody does such kind of a thing,
this person is
dangerous.
Yes.
It's dangerous.
I love that.
So you find that we are allowing movies and
books